All right, I do got another one, guys. Traffic's got me distracted for a brief second. All right, so Michael Chandler came out. Now, this has been a couple days. This was probably the middle of last week. We might be going on a whole week since he's posted this. But Michael Chandler came out and said that he's been offered Islam, Makhachev, whatever it is. I'll be making people mad the way I can't enunciate these names. But listen, part of it's not my fault. These commentators say people's names. The people who should be enunciating their names correctly for us to hear it, they say it wrong for years. Go back and look at Francis Ngannou, the way they were enunciating his name for years. Anyways, so Chandler got offered Islam. And the way we find out about this is Chandler tweets it. All right, cool. There's a couple, immediately I was like, well, wasn't Islam just saying he was going to go up to 170 pounds? Wasn't Conor and Chandler going to fight at 170 pounds? Does that mean this is going to be a 170 pound matchup? And then that raises the question, do they not think Islam can just go up and get a title shot like they handed to Volk, like they've handed to Izzy, like they handed to Alex? It's interesting. I think the consensus from the fans, although we haven't gotten clarity, we have not gotten this clarity at all. The consensus from the fans is, or the media and everyone involved, seems to be, it's at 155 for a title shot. Now, this speaks volumes to something I'm always preaching to fighters and I'm preaching to the people around me about. Like, if you're going to pursue this and as a career, you got to understand how money works and where the finances are. Understand Chandler's last fight was a loss. Understand Chandler is in no way should be getting a title shot if it came off of performances. He simply just got a favor. He sat for Conor. The UFC appreciated him. The UFC's offering him a favor. It's that simple. Now, something else we got to think about with this. If he takes the fight with Islam, does he still get the fight with Conor? And that's probably going to matter a lot to Michael Chandler. Because from what I've understood, I didn't know this at first, but getting to looking at it, they worked it into the contract in the fight with Conor. It was going to pay more for Chandler. Something else we're also not talking about. Does this show a lack of faith from the UFC in Conor coming back in a reasonable time frame? I think it does. Maybe a lack of faith might be a strong word, but I've been saying for a long time, Conor's got something more going on than an injury or health or something like that. Like, there's a problem with Conor. And the first time I noticed it wasn't off of anything Conor did. It was off of what Dana was saying to people when they were asking about Conor. So, we know that broken toe don't take long. And Conor's been tweeting in August he would be good. The broken toe isn't the issue. It's got to be something with rehab. It's got to be something. If it's not rehab, it's a legal issue. Like, I don't know, man. There's something to it. And the fact that Dana or the UFC doesn't have confidence in it to where they're already offering Chandler something else, I think speaks to the fact that they don't anticipate Conor's coming back anytime relatively soon. They're not saying Conor's not coming back, but into this year maybe. I got a feeling he's got to go through. It almost seems like the rehab is legal. Like, you know how someone will go, especially celebrities, they'll go and commit a crime and it'll make the news, and then they'll like do a plea deal. And in their plea deal, it'll be like, you know, you got to complete a 12-month program. or a 12-week program of anger management or alcohol abuse, or you know what I mean? We see it all the time. It feels like it's something like that. And I don't know how that holds over the head of Conor. Like if it's like you couldn't leave the country because it's in, like the legalities in Ireland, there's a restriction on travel. I don't know. Because we've watched John Jones go in there and compete after having a binge weekend of cocaine the week before. Like, I don't know, but it's definitely not that fucking toe. It is not the toe. All right, but back to Chandler. So, what should Chandler actually do? Should he take the fight with Islam? Well, one, Islam's going to beat him. I don't. It's like Michael Chandler is this nice guy on the outside. It's like he's who you want your son to look up to. He's hard work. He's grit. Old-fashioned American. But the reality is, he's not like that when it's in the cage. He's fought dirty several times. And I'm limiting this to his UFC career. We're not going to go back and speak on everything in Bellator. He's got a long career. But I lost a lot of respect for him the way he fought with Dustin Poirier. The fish hooks were cage grabbing. There was something else too. Back of the head. It's just, I don't know. And then with Gaethje, I feel like he honestly quit. I feel like he got tired and he gave up in that fight. He was getting outclassed, so he was just trying to stand there and keep himself safe. The last minute or two of Gaethje, I think they gave that fight of the year. I don't give a shit. The end of that sucked. The end of that absolutely sucked. Sorry, got on a tangent. But, so, I guess I'm going to give Michael Chandler a hard time today for no reason. If he takes this fight with Islam, he's going to lose. But what else is he going to do? You know what I mean? Like, what else is he going to do? There isn't really something intriguing for Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler can make a matchup because he's kind of a stand there and bang and he's entertaining. But that's going to exist whether he beats or loses to Islam. And that's going to exist whether he fights McGregor or not. Like, it's the same thing. The more interesting side of this is really, what is that saying about the UFC and Conor's relationship right now? If they're offering Chandler, who from my understanding has a contract stating that McGregor's first fight back or next fight, I don't know exactly how it's worded, would be with Michael Chandler. I feel like to take this Islam fight, he has to give up that contract. Like it's like that also has to be Michael Chandler's next fight. For them to then pull the card, they might also be clearing away from McGregor. Maybe McGregor's just playing hardball. That's something I didn't think of. He might just not want to fight Chandler. That is something people don't want to speak on with McGregor. He's been wanting to book the easier fights. He got Cowboy. There's no way Cowboy was at his level at that time. He wanted Diego Sanchez right before that. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I don't know. But I don't feel like they're doing it to clear away for Conor. It's possible they're trying to clear away. I think it works better for Conor to come back if he has a clear path instead of he has to fight this one particular person. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. We're getting close to 10 minutes. So we'll wrap it up. That's the situation. Michael Chandler. He got offered Islam. Most people think it's at 55 for the belt. I think he should take it just to do something. He could always call out Conor and run his mouth about Conor dodging him and get that Conor fight later. But man, Islam's going to whoop that ass if they fight.